Cow Bridge marks the start of the route up to Hartsop above How, which begins along the edge of Brothers Water and past the historic Hartsop Hall. The route enters the stunning Dovedale, passing several beautiful waterfalls, and gains height up the fellside. A turn right leads directly up the steep fellside to gain the ridge to the summit of Hartsop above How at 586 metres above sea level. The ridges then follow downhill over Gale Crags and back to the valley floor and to the start of the walk. The small car park by Cow Bridge, just south of Patterdale, marks the start of this walk to Hartsop above How. Heading south out of the car park, the route follows the lakeshore footpath along the edge of Brothers Water. The lake was once known as Broadwater, but changed in the 19th century when two brothers drowned there. Just a mile or so into the walk, the route passes Hartsop Hall, a Grade 1 listed 16th century farmhouse and one of the oldest buildings in the Hartsop Valley. It is just past the hall that the walk begins to turn west and enters the stunning valley of Dovedale. Dovedale Beck is crossed via a narrow footbridge where the path turns right and begins an ascent into the upper reaches of the valley. Just slightly further ahead, there are opportunities to see several beautiful waterfalls which can be heard from the path and should not be missed. The path steepens as you pass through a stone wall and continue up to another footbridge over Dovedale Beck once more. My original route was to continue further up the valley, but with the ever-changing conditions and some dark clouds on the skyline, I've opted for a shortcut up the side of Hartsop above How to arrive at the summit about an hour earlier. This shortcut is very steep and there's no path to follow, and only recommended for walkers who are comfortable walking up a 45-degree hillside. Once at the top of the ridge, there is an obvious path northeast leading over a false summit and to the true summit of Hartsop above How at 586 metres above sea level, according to online sources, although a spot height has never been confirmed for this peak. The view from such a height is spectacular, with Dovedale and Deepdale flanking the north and south side of the fell, and the higher peaks of St Sunday Crag, Fairfield, Hart Crag and Dove Crag creating a seemingly impenetrable wall of rock to the west. A good path continues along the ridge northeast, gently descending over boggy ground to a lower peak called Gale Crag. This subsidiary peak is listed as a Burkett Fell and stands at a height of 512 metres above sea level. As I begin to descend down the northern ridge of Gale Crag, I begin to realise I made a very good decision to cut the walk short earlier and miss out Hart Crag. The weather really has taken a turn for the worse, with squally, heavy hail showers coming and going, making progress very difficult. Thankfully, I know this ridge quite well, and know where the path leads, but proves that preparation and experience is key to successful winter days out in the mountains. As if by magic, as I reached the lower slopes, the clouds cleared somewhat and I was able to enjoy some blue sky as I eventually joined the A592 by Goldreel Beck, where a permissive path heads south and takes me all the way back to the car park at Cowbridge.